Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to LEGO Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. Let's move on here. We did the Duel of the Droids and now we're gonna do Dead Moon of Antar. Man, the controlling's a little weird. I guess it hits a stop point though, like you can't go too far south or too far north on this. Although north and south would be the wrong terms on this map. Let's hop to it. So we had a decent experience last time. A full 30-minute Lego level. An actual 30-minute level Lego. So now I suppose moving forward we're hoping for no real-time strategy levels, and if we do any flying around levels that they are particularly good, and we haven't really seen that. The flying around levels we have seen really just have us flying around a little bit and then landing in places, which is a little bit different. Here we can see the scroll is locking up, and of course the second lockup always comes, and then sometimes you even get a third lockup, and sometimes you even get a fourth lockup. I do have the vertical sync on, which is only going to make it worse, but I kind of need to keep it on because it turned out that R2-D2 couldn't hover with it. That I know specifically was not a problem on the Xbox 360 version, because I don't even know vertical sync is an option that you can set on the Xbox 360. I imagine you can set it, but you probably would have to go back to the main part of the menu of the thing. So we've got some targets here that need torpedoes, and we're in this bluish what would we call this? Bluish airplane. Try to get some studs while we're working on all this. And see, these cannons that we've seen in the real-time strategy games are set more on tracks than they are. It seems like I can't easily hit the things I'm... Actually, it looks like there's not a lot to things hit. So here's another like perfect example of, look at this ship and see how little of it is actually Lego. See, that's just not like what I would prefer. I would prefer, honestly, if the Lego series came out a lot less frequently, so that they could Lego-ify a lot of things. Inherently, what'll probably occur, and maybe it's 10, 20 years from now, but what will probably happen is somebody will probably come up with an algorithm that can just scan 3D models made for video games or for any other 3D art and turn them into Lego pieces. It wouldn't be totally crazy to expect that to happen. All you would need is a database of the Lego pieces that are available, which Lego already has a software that's somewhat like that, to where you can build Lego things and it will tell you what pieces, and I believe it will even make instructions for you, so you can make your own creations as far as Lego. See, I don't know who we're playing as, but it doesn't seem like anybody we've played as before. So we've got a couple things we need to hit to open up this area, and I can't help but feel like this is going to end up being just another blow something up story for the Star Wars. It seems like that's how it always goes. Where's the elevator. Go, there it is. That's pretty much all this is it doesn't make any sense. And so here we also have an issue in that unless I had exactly 3, I would have had to gone back down to the location. And so here we have a shielded missile place. So we're almost up to 100,000 studs too. This is probably not the worst place to gain studs. And this isn't going to take very long because of the... Let's see, I guess it wants me to land here and do something. So we'll see what it wants me to do. This might just be an extra thing, or maybe not. You know, Star Wars desperately needed somebody to pick up a lightsaber at one point. Somebody without the Force. And I'm not saying like they should be able to Force grab it from across the room. I'm saying somebody should find a lightsaber, pretend to be a Jedi, and scare a bunch of local people that think he's great and powerful, like the Wizard of Oz, basically. There's a same trash can gimmick we saw on the ship. So it's getting reused here. Is this the ship we were on? Am I supposed to do something here? Seems like I'm getting an insignificantly small amount of studs. Okay. Let's see, once we have that mini kit detector, I imagine we won't have to do any more of that. See, I just fall off the front into the vastness of space. And the other character that I can switch to isn't anywhere around here. I think he only shows up if 2 players were actually playing. Keep on breaking things. It's just starting bigger and bigger fires. By the way, there's no oxygen in space, so there would never be any fire in space past the oxygen that would immediately escape. So you might see a bright explosion for a second, that would be believable, but anything beyond that, then you have to make arguments that there's some kind of shield or bubble of oxygen that's keeping these fires burning. Well, these fly around levels are not terrible, though. I mean, compared to the complete saga, they're actually better. This is the one element to this I can say, well, they at least improved a little bit there. Because it gets you down off the flying every now and then to do some things. Of course, they spent some time on that. And I think the trade-off for them to make the flying levels better is they then handed many of the levels straight over to another company to make the real-time strategy levels, or maybe just another team. Maybe it wasn't a different company. I don't know. But clearly some amount of time, money, or energy got diverted from making the real-time strategy levels fun. Yeah, can I just hit it from down here? Up here? And we blow up the ship. Still don't really know anything about the story or all that. Seems kind of strange that nobody else is attacking the other ships that were over there. And that was barely 10 minutes. And it unlocks Plow Kun. And that's it. Oh, well, it also unlocks Plow Kun's Jedi Speeder. I don't think there are any races in this game. Which, you know, you could have given me a land race. You could have given me a vehicle race. You could have tried to at least make it feel like there was a race somewhere. The only... there is one point in where we're getting chased down a hallway, like in Indiana Jones with the giant boulder or the wave of water. It happens twice in the series of Indiana Jones movies. So you're running down a hallway in one level, and that's kind of a chase. But I guess compared to Lego Indiana Jones 2, though, which had some downright awful vehicle levels, this is way better too. So the problem that is still occurring, though, is I've got score times 2. And I need score times 3 if it existed, which it's kind of impossible to tell until I buy score times 4 for 1 million. And I'm at 700,000 short. I'm below 700,000 studs right now. Which is not helpful. Not helpful at all. In the next 5 minutes, the question I'm thinking to myself is, can I run down to the recreational room and gun down enough characters, enough ships, that I might have a return to 1 million. Then I could go buy score times 4. That, if I buy score times 4, fixes us to a much likelier path that we will have enough studs for everything else. Because remember, after we get all the score multipliers, we still need to unlock all the things. So, let's see, hit that one, and that one, and that one. And so I would need 285,000 studs in the rec room. And see, it's 14 minutes right now. Let's go down here. We have the red brick detector. This guy, I don't think... I guess maybe this is an R2-D2 section that might work. Like, I don't even know. No, I still think I need to blow some stuff up, so I need a blaster character. And that worked for for Yoda. So that got me a decent amount. And without a stud magnet, it's still a decent amount of things to collect. And we can see here more and more enemies are filling in these jail cells as we beat the levels. Why does Yoda look so old, by the way, with the hair in the back? I guess he was old to begin with, and then he loses his hair even later. And see, I believe that's score times 4 right there as the game is locking up. Obviously it would do it again. And smashing this, how many studs do I actually get? Not very many. And I hope I'm going in the right direction. Yes, okay, I made it. So when we hop in here and we start trying to hit things, we're waiting for enemies to show up and see just how much that really gives us when we hit these lines. It seems to be an insignificantly small amount. Now here we got some kind of space aliens flying around, which is surprising because that's not something we ever saw, and the game is totally locked up there. See, and when we go to different systems, this is what happens is, now of course they're flapping their wings and there's again no oxygen in space, unless in the Star Wars galaxy there is actually oxygen in space. But I mean, it's cool. But am I making a significant amount of studdage here? No. It's slow going happening there. It seems like I'm hitting these creatures and they're not dying. And I've hit them significantly and they seem like they don't go anywhere or do anything. Well, so whatever I'm supposed to do with these, like, I'm barely getting one hit on these characters and then they just spin around and show up again. So that's not gonna work. It's just not gonna happen. And smashing up this whole place is not gonna do it. And oops. Oh no. And the game immediately saves when you purchase these things too, so you've screwed yourself up again. And that's simply because I was hitting B to go back. Oh man, that was a huge mistake. Well, forget about having score times 4 anytime soon. I now need another 720,000 studs. I was still 200,000 studs short, and obviously that's just something we're not going to be able to get in particular. Well, not anytime soon. It would be funny if Yoda showed up in the new movies and he was able to use the dark side of the Force. I don't think really there's a difference. I think either any Jedi or Sith could use the Force, and that's not really what it means. And see, all of the coins on the bridge here are still missing, so Is one of these characters a rocket guy? I don't think so. Well, that is a huge failure to end on, isn't it? I accidentally bought this extra, and now we have fast build, which we really didn't need, and we really needed score times 4. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm gonna have to, what I'm gonna end up doing, because we're gonna run out of things. We're gonna run out of opportunities to collect studs. Anywho, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.